national team football is war. Is that not what it is? If you're going to World Cup, it's war against these other guys. So if you're thinking about Argentina and they're telling you, I'm bringing Dybala, I'm bringing Messi, I'm bringing Di Maria, I'm bringing Higuain, you know what I mean? And Brazil goes on to say, I'm bringing Neymar, I'm bringing Jesus, I'm bringing Vinicius, I'm bringing, you know? And then South Africa, what are we going to say? I'm bringing Lipasa, I'm bringing... guys, what are we doing, guys? And we're on. So, welcome to the premiere episode of Corner Flag. I'm your host, Fourth Kind, your scout, of course. And today's episode is definitely brought to you by Islow Studios, as well as Pixelate and Highlands Film and Photography. And it's a lovely little media house, so if you are into podcasting, you do music, photography, whatever it is that you need, you can definitely contact them on Instagram, as well as just all social medias, man, as well as email as well. So it's Islow, YZLOE Management, or YZLOE Studio on Instagram. And yeah, so lace you up with whatever you need, man. They making my dream happen today, so you can definitely hit them up for that. Our today's topic is, why is Bafana still most likely to lose? And coming off of the results that we had in the two friendlies that we played recently, played Bafana against Botswana, we had like a 1-0 win, and before that against Sierra Leone, what was that, like 4-0. So good results, positive with the wins. But as we know, Bafana are notorious for winning friendlies. They're really, really good at that. And then, I mean, they beat Spain, guys. They beat Spain, and at that time, they made us feel like probably they could go to the World Cup. So, gone are those days. Or are they? Not if they don't really pull up their socks. And at this point, I'm not even really talking about the players, but I'm talking about the management. Because if we're thinking about it, what really was the point of these friendlies? I mean, we won, yes, that's good, but it would have been worrying if we hadn't won. So we're playing against teams that we know we're better than, right? So what does that help to do? And if we played against France the other time, and they beat us like 5-0, which was also an expected result, because definitely these guys are much better than we are. So what is it that this whole thing or plan, what is it supposed to achieve? We should be playing against teams like Cameroon, Ghana, Morocco, any team that we can think of in Africa. If we think about the world heavyweights well, not world heavyweights, but the continental heavyweights that we have on the continent, these are the countries that are in the conversation. And if South Africa hopes to be part of that, these are the countries that we should be participating against. So well done to them. It was a new team as well, which was good. I feel like these boys did put a good account of themselves. We got Mihlala Mayambela making his debut that day. He really did well. Capped off his debut with a goal. You know, he did really, really well. Leroux as well. This was one we always wanted to see coming in from Switzerland. So that was a good performance from him as well. But in the second game, they scrapped the whole team and, you know, fielded a whole new 11. So what was the point of the first game then? Are we not building a team? I mean, I understand the fact that, you know, all these boys need to get game time, but if we're even talking about the core, like if we talk about our national team core, Hugo Bruce's core that we can talk about, let's name 6 players or 8 players that we can talk about, that these are his players and he's building a team around these guys. Who are those guys? We don't really have that. You know, so that's really, really worrying, especially now thinking about the fact that Percy's not there, and I mean, I really feel sorry for him in that case, because I feel like the mental state that he must be in, abandoned in Egypt, and, you know, now he's been used as a scapegoat by Bruce for the longest time for bad performances, and now South Africa is more or less getting the act together, and he's left out in the cold. So I really hope that the boy comes back, and then, you know, they really mix him in with some really, really good players. I mean, we saw Spilelo Sitola coming in. I feel like that's one who's cementing his position in the midfield position, probably the heir to Bongani Zungu in that position. And then there was Goodwin Musele, which I'm still not convinced, guys. I'm sorry. I really feel like it's good for PSL, it's good for Paris. But if you're talking about National League, right? Because national team football is war. Is that not what it is? If you're going to World Cup, it's war against these other guys. So if you're thinking about Argentina and they're telling you, I'm bringing Dybala, I'm bringing Messi, I'm bringing Di Maria, I'm bringing Higuain, you know what I mean? And Brazil goes on to say, I'm bringing Neymar, I'm bringing Jesus, I'm bringing Vinicius, I'm bringing, you know? And then South Africa, what are we going to say? I'm bringing Lipasa, I'm bringing... guys... What are we doing, guys? You know, I'm failing to understand what the whole big plan is around this. And I'm not saying that these players are bad. They're good, but if we're really trying to compete against the world's best, then we really have to pull our socks up. I mean, right now we're looking at David Nobone's under-23 team. And I'm looking at the players there, and I'm seeing Richards Bay, I'm seeing Baroque, I'm seeing TS Galaxy, I'm seeing players who are coming from the second division. And I'm thinking, where are all of the overseas-based players? I mean, Bafana has been failing for the longest time, and I feel like we got content with that sharp. But at least our younger teams were always flourishing. You know, that's where our Luther Sings came from. That is where we met our Tabutele, Kabomelo Korisang. Guys, why is this guy left out in the cold? He did well in the 2023, in the Olympics. And he did really well in the Olympics, and now he's doing really well in Portugal, right? Lighting the Subsec abroad in the second division. Already has 3 man of the man appearances in 5 games, and he scored like 2 goals. But he's not in the national team setup. What's happening? Why is this kid not involved? And understand, the biggest thing that we can do to help ourselves is to invest in the future. Right? The grassroots. This is where we need to be focusing all of our energy towards. Which means that all of these kids that are like Lingeta, who's playing for Cardiff, but right now he's on loan in FC Feld, right? There's Ethan Chislett out there playing for AFC Wimbledon, right? There's so many kids who are playing, and they're strategically putting themselves in relatively good teams in the European market, right? And all they need is a platform that the national team is technically supposed to provide for these boys, so that bigger teams go along and snap them up. And I'm not saying that we will be doing this service by having our local based players. I mean, we need those, but we need the cream of the crop. Only the best. If only the best guy who's suited for the job in the local league should be in the Bafana setup, right? Because we shouldn't be building for too long, guys. This is the national league. This is where you are supposed to be the best. You understand? There's no time to help you get your act together. That only happens for a limited amount of time, and that's just to help the team gel, not you as a player. You as a player must be on form. It is the team that's supposed to gel together. And this is why we saw Zwane coming in, scoring 2 goals, and Hugo Bruce had to eat humble pie and talk about the fact that, okay, this is a mistake. So why is Jale not there? Musele over Jale, are we talking? Guys, no, man. Let's try and profile these players well and see what the whole plan is going forward, because this is definitely not going to work if this is the direction that we're going in. Safa needs to pull up their socks, right? And we've had too many cases of our young boys who are not scouted. They either get taken up by European teams, which is exactly what almost happened to Kakelo Chauke, right? England was putting him in the younger youth team setups, and this was made so that they can snap him up and probably play for England. But it's a bit tough there, So England almost took him, and we weren't proactive with the movement of taking him. So what does that mean? Does that mean he's not good enough? Right? Let's get our priorities in order. And in the next 5 years, if you take up these boys who are playing in Portugal, there's so many of them. There's a boy playing in Belgium. There's so many of them. Lyle Foster is doing great now. All of these boys in the next 5 years, Kabomelo Korisang, and if we manage them well, we could really have a decent team within the next 5 years. Yeah, everybody's hitting me up, I'm a well sought after guy. So we'll get back to them later. So yeah, definitely, I definitely think this is one of the things that we need to concentrate on as South Africa, managing the little boys, managing the younger squads. That is where our strength has always been, and try and promote them well into the league. I mean, we've been promised Vision 22 for how long? Since the 2010 World Cup, guys. It's 12 years later. What was the plan? What is the plan? Where is the Vision 22? Like, how long must we build? We've been building. Hey, we've been building, guys. Oh my god. Yo, South Africa, Bafana, awa bathong. Narlapile. Awa, we've been building, guys. We've been building. Are we building Noah's Ark? Are we building the Great Wall of China? For 12 years. People have started and even ended their careers while we were building, guys. Come on. We're tired of building. We've built the Great Wall of China. Now we want to see the fruits of what the whole building was about. And right now we just need the best experienced players, the best overseas players, and the cream of the crop of the local players. And that is what we need to make South Africa great again. And we can finally compete against Ghana, Nigeria, all of these other teams. I mean, Zimbabwe, dare I say, Zimbabwe has a better team than we have in South Africa right now. And these guys, this is where they come to make their careers, in the PSL. These guys come here to make their careers. And they have a better national team than us. Right now, we're just being lucky that they got knocked out. So, hopefully for the AFCON qualifiers against Liberia and Morocco, we're going to do the job. But we need a core. Hugo Bruce, Rarapel, we need a core. And this core must not be made of average players. We don't need players in the lower league teams. We don't need players who play for small teams. We need the best. So Rakopela too. Yeah. Corner flag. We good. I'm your boy, Fourth Kind. Brought to you, as I said, by Pixelate, Islow Studios, Highlands. Hit them up on Instagram, guys. Support the movement. I'm your squad, Corner flag. We out.